Hello everybody and welcome to Nourishing Chi with Dr. Hannah. I'm Hannah and today's practice is for those with the nighttime sleepies who can't seem to sleep. So the mind is active or the body is restless. Either way, we're going to release that activity and calm it all down. As you can see, I wore my favorite PJs for you. So find somewhere cozy and let's get nourished. So if your body is feeling too agitated to lay down, you can start in a seated position. We're going to begin with a flowing motion. So we're going to raise the hands up and press them back down as we breathe in and breathe out. Ideally, we'll be ready to sleep after this practice, so I'm going to start on my back. So because the body and mind are active, we're going to begin with a more active motion. We're going to start with our hands down at the belly. We're going to raise them up and then press them back down. So we breathe in, hands come up to the chest, and we breathe out, back down to the belly. You can breathe in through the nose and then either breathe out through the nose or the mouth. So sometimes that mouth exhale helps us to release more energy or agitation. And we're going to begin moving more rapidly. So in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth, moving that energy, matching the level of activity with the activity of our minds and our bodies. And we want to match that so our body begins to say, hey, I like the pace of that rhythm. Let me tune into that. And as our bodies and minds tune in to the rhythmic motion of the breath and the rhythmic movement of the arms, we begin to soothe the body and the mind. And at some point you may notice that the body hearkens to this soothing effect and begins to want to slow it down, right? You can just naturally start slowing the pace and the rhythm of this gesture down. As a sense of calm begins to sweep over the nervous system. And maybe you're not there yet, and that's okay, so you can continue to move at a faster rhythm. Moving in a way that feels nourishing for you. So you can continue with this rhythm, or we can add on. So I'm going to add on, and we're going to expand this gesture. So we're going to breathe in, raise the arms to the chest, breathe out, lower them back down. Breathe in, raise to the chest, exhale, press out to the sides. Breathe in, we come to the forehead, and then exhale, press down through the forehead, the heart, and the belly. And we start over again. So breathing in, we raise to the chest. Breathe out, we will press down. Breathe in, raise to the chest. Exhale, press out to the sides. Breathe in, raise to the head. Exhale, pressing out, head, heart, belly. And again, moving at your own pace. So breathing in, exhale down, Breathing in, we raise. Exhale, press to the sides. Inhale, up to the head. And exhale, press head, heart, belly. Breathing in, we raise up. Breathe out, we press down. Breathing in, we raise up. Breathe out, we press out. Breathe in to the head. Breathe out, head, heart, belly. So what we're doing is moving in fresh oxygen, breathing out stale air, breathing in fresh oxygen, pressing out agitation, breathing in fresh energy, breathing out and pressing the stale and agitated energy from our head, our heart, and our belly, and flushing it out the feet and into the earth. So breathing in relaxation, breathing out. Breathing in a sense of calm, pressing out wide. Breathing in peace to the heart, the head, the heart, and the belly. So moving at your own pace. So again, if you're still feeling that agitation in your head and your body, you can move at a faster pace. And as that agitation begins to dissipate, your movement will naturally slow down to a pace that matches the internal rhythm. And as that rhythm begins to slow, you can begin to be more present with your body and with your mind. More present to the rhythm. Both the rhythm that we're creating and the natural rhythms found within. So if continuing with the rhythm that we've created still feels good in your body, I encourage you to pause the video and continue at your own pace. For those who feel more of a sense of calm and peace, wash through your body and mind. We're going to move on to some lymphatic drainage. So sometimes our minds and our bodies feel agitated because of the congestion and inflammation in our body's tissues. And we want to clear that inflammation through the lymphatic system. So what we're going to do is to activate some key lymphatic drainage points in our body to help with that flushing effect, clearing that congestion, and helping our bodies and our minds to feel more calm and more at peace. So we're going to begin with the thoracic inlet. All of the lymphatics from our bodies ultimately drains into the venous system at the thoracic duct. or the thoracic inlet here at our collarbones. So what we do is find our bony collarbone, which runs from our chest out to the shoulder blade, out to the shoulder. And we find the lymphatic drainage point about 1/3 of the way from the chest to the shoulder. So that will be about 1 inch or 2, depending on your body size. And we can find it at a point where there's a slight divot on the front and top aspect of that collarbone. So there's a little soft spot there. And so we can bring our hands to each side, finding that divot and that soft spot, and a place where our hands just feel a cozy place to rest. And what we're going to do is to have flat finger pads, and we're just going to begin to gently pulse. We're going to pulse in a downward and inward fashion. So a slightly downward and a slightly inward fashion, so maybe about a 45-degree angle between the two of those. And we're going to pulse as if we're connecting to something most precious and most tender within us. Right, so a most precious and tender aspect of ourselves. And that's where we can find the lymphatics housed. And so we're going to maintain a contact of our finger pads on our skin. And then we pulse down 1 millimeter or 2. Maybe you can do 1 centimeter if that feels good in your body. But we want to pulse in a way that feels nourishing and replenishing. And we're going to pulse about 27 times. And you're certainly welcome to do this longer if you feel more congestion in the area. But 27 times is a good starting point. And usually, when we achieve an opening in the lymphatics, we hear a gurgling sound from our belly, right? So the lymphatics and the nervous system is all connected, head to toe, fingertip to fingertip. And as we release one area of the body, our bellies often respond. It's a stimulating effect on our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest, repair, and digest system. Okay, so next we're going to switch to the front of our thoracic inlet. So we're going to come at that same spot 1/3 of the way in from our collarbone, and we're going to come on the undersurface now of that bony collarbone and find a nice soft spot. And we're going to begin a pulsation again. Again, connecting with a very tender and precious aspect of ourselves. Maybe thinking to the mind and to the fingers, finding a connection with the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system contains very fine vessels. So they're not the large and robust vessels that we think of with the arterial system. They're very fine and easily collapsible. So with a gentle pulsating pressure, we invite the lymphatics to open up. We gently ease any areas of restriction out of the way and allow for an opening effect. And again, when a release is achieved, oftentimes there'll be a gurgling in the belly. So if you notice this, you can chuckle to yourself, knowing that it's working. So the next point we're going to come to is our diaphragm. And particularly, we're going to find a point where the phrenic nerve crosses the diaphragm. And the phrenic nerve is responsible for diaphragmatic motion. And diaphragmatic motion is important for lymphatic drainage. So for this, ideally, we're going to be on the skin. And again, we're going to use our 1/3 rule. So we're going to find the bony sternum right in the center of the chest. And at the bottom of the sternum, we're going to find a connection to our rib cage. So we can palpate down and just feel for the bony rib cage, following it around. And we're going to go 1/3 of the way from our sternum to the side of our rib cage. And again, there's going to be a soft spot where one rib connects with another. And we're going to find that spot and just ask yourself, where can I find the point of our diaphragm where that phrenic nerve connects? And your hands will be guided in some small, subtle way. And then again, with a flat surface, so finger pads, we're going to gently press in and up now. So an upwards direction towards the head, which guides us into the diaphragm. And I got a little chilly here, so you might see my body shaking a bit. But hopefully you can stay nice and warm under your covers. So again, pulsating, connecting with the lymphatics of the diaphragm as well, so that tender part of ourselves that we want to be gentle with. And we're going to pulsate for about 27 times or more if it feels right in your body tonight. Taking deep breaths here. Maintaining a nice solid contact with your finger pads to your diaphragm so that you don't lose your place. In through the nose and out through the nose. And on occasion, you can breathe in deeply and then out fully through the mouth. Finding that extra sense of clearing effect. Good, so the last point we're going to move to today is our inguinal area. So our inguinal area is found in our groin, so where the hip connects with the pelvis. And again, we're going to use a 1/3 rule. So always coming 1/3 from our midline in a lateral direction. So in this case, we're going to start at our pubic bone and we'll come in a lateral direction up towards our pelvic bone. So it comes along a diagonal towards the head. And you can feel, just take a flat palm and press down and you'll feel that bony prominence of your pelvic bone. And we're going to go 1/3 of the way. So for me, that ends up being right here, again in a soft spot. And you'll feel your hands will just kind of ease in and connect with the lymphatics in that area. And then with the flat finger pads, we're going to press in an inward and slightly upward direction towards the head. It's only very slightward upward direction at this point. Breathing deeply, being gentle with ourselves and with our lymphatic tissues. Feeling that we are engaging in sacred work here. Right, the opening and releasing of our bodies, the clearing of tension and agitation, and the welcoming in of release, of flow, peace and warmth, and healing energies. And if you can and it feels comfortable for you, I always recommend skin to skin contact. This creates the best connection into our lymphatic system, into our bodies, bringing us the best insight and clarity of communication from our bodies. Because ultimately that's what we want. We want to be able to hear and receive the communication that our bodies are giving to us. And when we better hear, we're better able to respond. Excuse me. And provide what our bodies need, right? Provide what nourishes. And when we feel nourished, we can live happier, healthier lives. And to feel more fulfilled. Good. So hopefully you're feeling more relaxed, more centered, and more at home in your bodies and in your minds. We're going to close now with a little breathing meditation. Just stacking one palm over that belly button and resting your other hand on top. Finding a comfortable spot for your elbows, so allowing them to drop and rest by your side. We're going to breathe into our lower abdomen now, into our lower dantian, our lower energy center. It's a reservoir for our light, the light of our body, the light of our being. And we're going to breathe smoothly and calmly in and out through the nose, allowing a peaceful expansion of your belly and chest, followed by that peaceful exhale. And maybe you could even breathe here until you fall asleep. And with that, my friends, I wish you a good night. And until next time, find what nourishes. Be well.